back to Habitat Kitchen. I'm Andrew Beauchamp, and today we're making KFC vegan style made with oyster mushrooms. I'm very excited for this one. I've seen this all over the internet on Instagram and YouTube, and I'm so excited that I'm going to be able to finally try it. I got this recipe from K33kitchen.com, so I'll leave the link below if you guys want to check out the full recipe. But let's jump right into it. The biggest ingredient in this recipe is obviously the mushrooms, because this is going to be our chicken replacement. Now these are oyster mushrooms, not king oyster mushrooms, just oyster mushrooms. They're kind of flat and they look very kind of scattered, which I think are very cool. I've actually never cooked with these mushrooms before, so I'm very excited to try them. Don't forget to wash your mushrooms, because you don't know who the heck's been touching that. Whenever you buy these mushrooms in the store, they come in a grouping similar to this, and I just peeled them apart like so to get more of a chunk other than a huge glob of mushrooms. Really easy to do. They're actually really easy to work with. Because the mushroom is our base, and mushrooms don't tend to have a lot of flavor, especially oyster mushrooms are a little bit lighter in mushroom flavor. We want to add a lot of flavor through our spices, and we have a lot here. Baking powder, ginger, onion powder, sugar, garlic, paprika, dried oregano, marjoram, thyme, sage, allspice, black pepper, salt, your choice, optional, chili powder. Take all your spices and you're going to want to mix them in to your flour. So we have our flour as our base, and we're going to just dump them all in and whisk everything together. This is going to be the base for all of our mixture, and we're going to actually separate this into two. We need 80 grams of the spice mixture we made into another bowl, so I'm just going to scoop it into this bowl, measuring out 80 grams. Set this aside. This is going to be our dry mixture. And to this 80 grams of our spice mixture, we're gonna add some plant-based milk. I'm gonna be a little savage. This is my homemade almond milk. Once again, video up in the corner if you guys wanna check out how it's made. Right into the mixture, all out, put that to the side, and whisk until smooth. I got a little bit of an assembly line here with my mushrooms right here. I have my wet mixture, and my dry mixture, and then I have a wire rack on top of a sheet pan with just a cloth. I have a cloth that I purposely use when I'm doing projects like this, because I don't always like to use paper towel because I find it's very wasteful. Okay, so it's very simple. You're going to take your mushroom, dip it into the wet mixture, and we're actually going to let it sit in there for just a few seconds. And while it's sitting there, I'm actually going to dip a few more of my mushrooms in, so we can do a few at a time. It's also important to not only get one hand in the wet mixture. Keep this one dry, because you'll see in just a second. So I got a few mushrooms in there. I'm going to take the first mushroom I put in, take it out. I'm going to dab off all that extra liquid. We don't want it dripping. We don't want it to be really soggy. Dip it into our dry mixture. At this point, I'm going to take away my hand that was in the wet mixture, and I'm going to use this hand to toss flour or the spice mixture on top of this mushroom. And there's our first piece done. I'm just going to lay it right on the rack until the fry oil is ready. So once again, and I'm just going to keep going, dipping my mushrooms into this wet mixture and throwing them into the dry, getting them coated until all my mushrooms are done. All done. Now I'm going to wash my hands. This job is not for the faint of heart. But wash my hands. I'm actually going to set up my oil. I'll be right back. And we're back, ready to fry. So I got my oil all ready. It's at 350, and my mushrooms are still here, looking gorgeous, and they also smell great. All those spices just smell amazing. And I'm gonna add these one, or I'm probably gonna add 2 or 3 at a time. The recipe kind of highlights to not overcrowd them and give them some room to float around so they're not touching, so they cook evenly. And that is really important. So carefully drop these in, one at a time. And I'll do one more. And we're gonna let them sit in the oil until they're nice and golden brown. Now my stomach's growling. I turned down the heat because the first ones I did, I think the oil was a little too high. And I wanted the mushrooms to cook a little bit more instead of the outside just cooking right away. So I turned down the heat, so maybe 300 would be more of an appropriate temperature. And that, therefore, they'll cook a little longer without the breading crisping up too fast. So I've fried everything all up. I'm gonna let this sit for about 5 minutes. I'm gonna put my oil away, let everything cool, and plate it up, and I'll be right back. I've been dying to try it. Daniel's been keeping me honest, not letting me taste it at all. So let's give it a try. I was just so excited. Okay, so first off, ripability. Like, that looks like chicken. This is even better than chicken. I haven't had chicken in a long time, but this is delicious. Oh my god, you guys need to make this recipe. This is holy crud. I don't know what else to say other than this is really good. It's perfectly deep fried. The crunch on it is amazing. The spices are delicious. I can't even tell that it's a mushroom, honestly. I don't get any mushroom flavor, and it's not a chewy mushroom texture. It's honestly pretty darn flaky. This is delicious. These are incredibly juicy. They're so moist, yet both still being kind of having a nice chew to it, which is rare, I find, in vegan food. I'd like to thank the recipe for making this recipe, because this is, oh my god, so good. Thank you for watching Habitat Kitchen. Andrew Beauchamp signing off. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Follow us on Instagram. Till next time, guys. Stay hungry. Bye.